I just wanted to start with, I'll just kind of maybe group the defense together, what's going on with Adam Larsson.
Adam Larsson has gone home for his father's funeral, so he will miss today's game and Saturday's game.
Otherwise, on defense, is Chris Russell available, and could we see?
Chris Russell took pre-game skate. He told me he feels pretty good. The training staff will evaluate him after, and if he's good, he'll play.
Just on the team that you're facing in Nashville, went to the finals last year, and there seems, we asked Pontus if there's any holes in this roster, because it seems at every position they have pretty competent players. How do you get through them with?
They are a special team. They are holeless. I'm sure Pontus probably told you that, and it doesn't take a player or a coach to recognize that. Just an average fan can tell you that as well. Their goaltending is solid. Their D is the best in the National League, both offensively and defensively, in my opinion. And they've got four lines that come at you in waves, so they don't play a up and down game. They continue to keep it at a high level. There's no relief when the next line comes. So they have a very, very good team. And we've been challenged every time we play against this team. I believe they've made it stronger, and be a good barometer for us tonight.
Todd, it's obviously frustrating when you go a couple of months without producing like Lucic. What have you sensed in him? You know, the lengths he's going to try and work his way through this, and if the frustration level is affecting him.
Well, I think to answer that question fairly, I would say about 2 weeks ago, the frustration level affected him. I think now he's learning, or he's been able to deal with some things and put the frustration behind him. It's a waste of energy and time, and I think he's had some opportunities over the last 3 or 4 games that he didn't have 2 weeks ago. Perhaps that's having a chance to go back and play with Connor and having it on his tape a little bit more. He's certainly a priority for our organization and our coaching staff. We've got to get him back to where he needs to be. He's a long-term Oiler, and he has to, in these last 19 games, I believe, he's got to get back to where he has and feels good about himself on the ice and some confidence, so that's a goal of ours.
And just as the coach, I mean, deploying him, the results aren't there, but obviously you need this player to be producing for you. So do you just feel you need to keep putting him in opportunities to succeed?
Well, we've done the other. You know, you can recall a few weeks ago where and who he was playing with in the power play time, and missing a few shifts, and I think that led to greater frustration for him, which probably put him further in the hole. But we've done that. We're missing some players. We're missing, you know, the Patty Maroon, the size on Connor's line. Right now, Luch will get that opportunity. We hope that he takes full advantage of it and gets his game up and running. And we have priority players that we're looking at right now, and he would be one of them that's at the top of the list to get him going.
Last one for me on Lucic. He talked a few weeks ago about maybe changing the body composition a little bit. I mean, he's in great shape, but maybe trying to play a little bit lighter, doing some work in the offseason. Do you feel like he's been around long enough to get the game and where it's going, and that he'll be able to figure this out with his experience?
Well, he's one of our brightest players. He has a sense of the game and that type of stuff. God gave him a certain body type, and that body type has turned him into a tremendous player. He's been effective everywhere he's been. But as the game evolves, the player and the body type have to evolve, and I think that's what Milan's talking about. He's very, very fit. There's not an ounce of fat on him. So for him to magically lose 20 pounds, be it from now till the end of the year or even over the summer, it's going to be a tough task. He has to remain strong. He has to continue to have the tools that he's had in the past, but the pace of the game, and now I'm going to take it somewhere else. I'm going to take it to the whole team. Our team needs to play faster, and Milan's part of it, but everybody has to look at how they're going to get quicker. And the word fast is very deceiving in our game. I use the word fast and play with pace, and that means a number of different things. It's your hands. Your hands have to be fast. Your mind, you got to make some good decisions. You got to work into position. That means fast. It's not just skating. Connor's fast. Joe Pavelski is not going to win a race against Connor McDavid, but Joe's fast. His hands, his mind, his anticipation skills, his read and react make him fast, and that's what we need more of.
Todd, sounds like Ethan Bear's going to play tonight. Who would you likely pair him up with? Or?
Well, again, it'll depend on what the Chris Russell report is, and at this point, when I'm talking to you, it's a positive report. So, excuse me, we'll build our pairs around that. But Ethan will play. He's here to play. Will he be in every night? I don't know, but we'll put him in, and it's about as tough a test as you can have in your first game when you play against the Predators. So we'll see where he goes with it.
The game of hockey is kind of littered with players that scored hundreds of goals as kids and succeeded at junior and then get to the next pro level in the NHL and have a tough time scoring. How does Ty Rattie, who was one of those kids, a prolific scorer when he was younger, how does he write a different story than fading away? What does he have to do to make that next step in the NHL?
Well, he's on his third team right now. Started St. Louis, was in Carolina for a little bit, and now he's getting an opportunity to play with Leon, and he's got a very good centerman that can move him the puck. His release, his ability to shoot the puck is exceptional. And I think in junior you have an extra second to get to that spot. You could be a little bit slower and cruise into there. And at our level, it closes off so much quicker. The goaltenders themselves are much more mature and better at this level. That's a common thing. And so there are a number of players that have a tremendous minor league career, tremendous junior career, and they've got to find ways. Some do, some don't. We're going to give him the opportunity. Confidence is important. He's been on the power play since he's been here somewhat. He's played with Leon, had a good first game, an average second game, but our team was like that.
Coach, back to Ethan. He's right, today or Saturday, whenever. He's going to live this dream that every kid does as they're growing up, every hockey-playing kid. In his case, too, there's an additional component, and that's the fact that he's Indigenous, so he's in a much more select group there. Do you kind of sense the excitement around that a little bit?
I sense it more based on the initial part of your conversation, just the dream. The dream to succeed doesn't, it's not about race or color or anything like that. When you're a 7 and 8 year old and you put the skates on, you play. And you play free, and it doesn't matter where you play or how you play. As you get older, you take some of the responsibilities of your community or whatever it might be, and you tack them onto your game. I think that Ethan should be and is very proud of where he came from and the fact that he will play in the National Hockey League. And I'm sure that he'll want to play exceptionally well for his people. But I'm venturing to guess he's a lot more excited just for Ethan tonight, and that's the way it should be. He shouldn't have that additional pressure of a community on his shoulders. He should feel them behind him, not on him.
Todd, when you move Patrick Maroon, that's a top 6 left winger. When Nugent Hopkins is healthy, is there any intention to maybe give him a look on the wing and see if that can be a fit?
There's a chance. Nuge played wing for us at the World Cup in Toronto last year. Started as a center, moved over to the wing when we went down to 3 lines, and he did a good job of it. Quite frankly, I haven't thought of that far ahead. And once we get him back, we'll see where everybody else is. And I like the fact that Ryan Strome is playing well down the middle. He's played some of his best hockey over the last little bit. JJ Kyra has played quite well down the middle, so maybe we have our 3 and our 4 center. Now we can determine. We're pretty sure we have a number 1 center in Connor. What are we going to do in that 2-hole? Does Leon go up on the wing? Does Nuge go on the wing? There's some things that we have to contemplate and take into consideration. I do believe that when Nuge does come back initially, he'll start where he's familiar, just so he can get his game back. Okay.